live this year. Y'all hung with us last year when we did it virtually, and that was fun. But this is way more fun. How you feeling? I'm good. All right. So she runs the Creative Arts Workshop, right. And we had hip surgery around the same time.
The second one was the same day.
Yes! And look, we're both out here without canes. We're not.
Great, thanks. Yes.
Creative Arts Workshop.
We're open. We're thriving. We have a new exhibition.
Oh, what is it?
We have two, actually. One's in the lobby, Steve DiGiovanni, his paintings, and in the front gallery with the windows is Ted Salmon.
Okay.
And so
how long will they be up, and when can people come see it?
For a month, they'll be up, both of them.
And so gallery hours. What are the hours? You don't know? Oh, I know. You can't be asking the executive director anything.
Monday to Friday till 7, and then on Saturdays till 4.
Those are some good hours.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, then I'll come.
And we're open on the weekend, which is a new thing for us.
Doing a holiday thing this year? Oh, I love the holiday things. Yeah. Well, who are you rooting for tonight?
Everyone.
Arts community is coming.
Thank you for doing this.
Oh, you are welcome. It's nice. My hip sister. All right, I want people to come and talk to me. Oh, look at you. Woo! Well, hello. Oh, my gosh. I can't take all this fabulousness. How are you? Oh, girl, you look beautiful. Tell the people who you are.
I am Tia Brockington. Yes, I know. It's my husband, James Brockington.
Hello, James Brockington.
Listen, they own the premiere. They own the, I know, look. Kevin gonna push me down. They own the premier dance school.
Look, if it's possible, let's go.
See, this is how we work. She has the idea, and then I make it happen. 330.
Right now. Yeah.
330, a little over.
Life's dream.
It's
part of it. Well, part of the passion of being able to give back and just raise up a next generation of dancers. That's part of it.
Yes.
But we have bigger goals, bigger dreams to accomplish. So this is definitely a start.
And so, what age do children? Like, what's the youngest, and then what's the oldest?
Youngest, well, 18 months. 18 months. We have a
babies.
mommy and me class.
We have changing tables at our studio in the bathroom. Like, they're like baby bosses. Like, they run. They have like the diapers. They have their. Awesome just to see.
This student was in their 7th. So.
Oh, so there's hope for me.
Yeah.
So I can get my African dance on. All right, I'm coming. Well, I hope y'all have a good time tonight. The after party will be full effect. There's a bar if you want a little something, like wine or beer, girl. And
Thank
you. Thank you.
red carpet. Woo!
Thank you.
I love this arts community is showing out tonight. Come on in, baby. How are you? I'm good. I'm feeling good. How are you?
Very good.
Tell the people who you are.
I'm Maurice Harris.
Hi, Maurice Harris.
Hi.
So, what's your specialty?
So I'm here tonight representing E.L. Schwarzman Center.
Wow!
Yes.
I just had some folks on.
You did. C.J. Hunt and Thomas Allen Harris.
Oh my God, I enjoyed that conversation so much.
Watching it. So I was watching it from my desk while it was happening. It was really wonderful.
I'm coming on. I mean, I'm gonna tune in on Sunday so I can see the film and see the conversation. So.
I'll be there too. I'm really eager to see people's reactions and the questions that they'll ask, especially around this topic, which is so timely. You know, this topic around monuments and what we commemorate in public spaces versus museums, and the stories that we tell and the stories that we invent to sort of reconcile ourselves and our difficult pasts. Yeah. So, yeah.
Listen, the New Haven Independent did a piece based on the conversation that I had. Yes. And I saw the conversations and the comments that people had, and people don't get it. And I invited people, I said, listen, before you all have judgments or whatever, see this film so that you can have a perspective and an awareness about what this is.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Well, it's so nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Thank you for coming on the red carpet. And holler at the Schwarzman people for me. Thank you. Woo, we are on this red carpet tonight, beautiful people. The 41st Arts Awards, and we're at the Center for the Performing Arts. Come on, come on. I've not seen you in forever. I was like, is he still dating her? He said yes.
Oh, who?
Oh. All right. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
So who you here repping tonight?
The International Festival of Arts and Ideas.
Yay! We love this arts and ideas.
Thank you.
That's such a listen. Let me tell you this. This is the first time the festival all year, because I normally, it normally just gets geared up for June, but I see it. And I'm still seeing like activities.
We're not done yet for the year.
So can you give us a hint of who might show up next year?
No.
All right, can you give us a little bit of a not come on over here. Come on. I know, I'm gonna shake it out of Shelly. All right. Hello, Mr. Webb. Nice to see you. You look fabulous. Thank you so much. Yeah, okay. All right, okay. So how are you?
I'm in your space.
No, all right. I know you. Oh, come on over a little bit more. All right. Thank you. So this is Leonard Webb, and Leonard Webb does. Tell the people what you do.
I hang with Babs, try to get recognized, try to get noticed,
Listen, no one markets a event the way this man does.
You're too kind. You're too kind. I'm the publisher magazine for ethnic professionals, sponsors of the Kentucky.
Been to the Kentucky Dirty Day Party. I loved it. I didn't go last, but I went one year when you had it downtown at the Elm City Social.
Right. We've been at Amarante's the last 2 years, over 400 people. Unbelievable. Open bar for 2 hours, food, good time, cigar lounge.
So what's the next event coming up? I know I saw something about you doing something for the Harlem Dance Theater.
Yes. So I'm fortunate to partner with International Arts and Ideas and the Schubert Theater. So this Thursday, it's the Dance Theater of Harlem at the Schubert Theater.
I will be there.
Yes, and we've got a step and repeat similar to this. So we'll be taking great pictures and all that other good stuff. Yeah.
So nice to see you, because you're such a man about town.
You're a sweetheart.
So it's so good to see you. I should have known you would have been here for this event. So thank you for hanging out with us and supporting the arts.
Awesome work.
Thank you.
You're a legend around here.
Oh my God. Legend just means old lady. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hey, everybody, we're here for the 41st Arts Awards, and we're here at the Lyman Center for the Performing Arts. Last year we were virtual, but this year we are live and in living color, and we want y'all to come and hang out and celebrate with us. DJ Dana is on the wheels of steel, and we got folks hanging out. There's a bar. There'll be an after party. I've talked to some awardees. I've talked to artists. So who else is out there? Who's out there who'd like to come and be on the red carpet with Babs? Because this is a good time. This is a very good time. And it's a wonderful moment for the arts. We need this celebration. Let me tell you. We need to be dressed up. We need to have a good time. We need to wave our flags and just be with each other and gather. And tonight is going to be a great night. It's not going to be a long night. It's not going to be an involved night, but it is going to be a celebratory night. Hey, Jennifer, come talk to me. Hey, baby girl, come on. So listen, my soror, Jennifer, her husband, DOOLEY-O, and this is this Nia? Yes. Hi, darling. And their daughter, Nia. So this is my sorority sister, Jennifer. So come on over. You got to come into the space. We got.
She has her drawing book.
Yay, because she's an artist. Yeah. And artists always draw. So anyway, her husband, DOOLEY-O, is one of the awardees. And if you know DOOLEY-O, he is a prolific graffiti artist and an artist in his own right, and a rap artist and an international DJ So he does it all. So he's getting an award tonight, and I'm so excited. So how does that feel, Jennifer?
It's amazing. Congratulations to DOOLEY-O. We love him.
We do love him. We do love him. And
She's been so excited.
so do you feel like an artist too?
Yeah, I'd say.
Yes. And what's your favorite thing about being an artist?
Just expressing yourself, creativity.
Now, what mediums do you? What else do you? What are your mediums for expression?
So I'd say like, just drawing people and things they're doing, I'd say.
Well, I can't wait to see your stuff hanging in the gallery, young lady. I'm looking forward to that. So thank you all for hanging out. Cheering the loudest for DOOLEY-O tonight. I am biased as all get out. So thank you for coming over and saying hi. This has been wonderful. It's nice. I know, right? Thank you. Hi. We're on the red carpet. Yes. So who else? Hey, Mike Moran. Hey. You know, when you got Mike Moran at your event, you know it's a good damn time. Hello. How are you? Hey, I love this bow tie. I know.
Yeah, I'm wearing M. Lyman.
Oh.
This is a New Haven tie.
Love it.
You know?
And so what brings you to the Arts Awards tonight?
I carpet, so I didn't want to miss that. But it keeps.
No, Newt Schenck.
I visited Newt today at Grove Street Cemetery. So
It's my church sister. Nice. That's really damn good. You know what? I chair the Arts Council.
and if you're not incredible benefits and
Thank you, thank you, thank
See
you.
you inside.
Yes, it's a good night to be dressed up and hanging out with people. I love it. Hey! Arts and Ideas is representing tonight.
Hey.
Hi. Oh, I love the devil red.
Thank you. How's it going? You look so nice. Look at you.
So nice. I
The
love the
gold, the everything. I'm her trying, you know.
I knew you were going to be excited.
Well,
I had to do a little something.
I heard you was doing this. I was like, let me put on something, okay? Because I already knew you was going to come for the everything. And you did.
Look good. So I was asking some of the other Arts and Ideas people, like, can they give us a hint about what's to come? And they said no.
Well, if that's what they said, then I have to say the same thing. I can say this. It's going to be a wonderful year. You're going to see some of the things that we did last year really heighten themselves for the next year. And you're going to see a lot of community and a lot of different things that you have never experienced in New Haven. For sure.
All right, I'm going to go with that.
I got some training, don't
I
I?
know. They run a tight ship over there to Arts and Ideas because I was trying to shake them all down and they were like, no. So, you know. Thank you for joining me on the red carpet.
Absolutely.
He always looks fly, people.
Oh, thank you so much. And you do too, baby. Give me some love. Good. See you later. Bye.
Yeah, yeah. All right, now y'all should not be taking pictures. Y'all should be walking on this red carpet. Hey! Woo! All right, here's another awardee, DOOLEY-O, Alan Jackson. Hi, my love.
Hey, what's going on, Miss Babs?
You look amazing.
No, I can't be what you got on, honey. I can't be what you got on, I tell you.
So how you feeling tonight?
I feel awesome. I like to especially thank New Haven just in general. It was such a fabulous city. And a few times in my life where I was like, man, I got to get out of here. But now, I'm like, I ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm staying right here with my peoples, you know what I'm saying? I love New Haven to death, you know what I mean? New Haven.
To love.
Yo, let me tell you, when you realize there's a lot going on in our city, when you step out the box.
Yes, say it again.
When you step out the box.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. All this new development. Yeah. And I tell you, people of color, get involved with these downtown people. Go ahead and get your build on.
So are y'all still doing the retail open market? Is it still going on?
The WAM market is going on. Westville Arts Market. Westville in the house big time. And it's doing great. I can't believe how great it's doing. And it's growing and growing and growing. And we need more vendors. It's going to grow. Westville is popping right now.
It is.
Halloween parade, everything. Everything.
Well, I'm so proud and so honored that you're getting this award. It's been a long time coming, I think, because you've been out there preserving graffiti, DJing around the world, a lost art, and now DJs are like rock stars. So thank you for being a pioneer of all of that.
Oh, I just say, you know, I wake up in the morning, I got to do something. I can't just sit around. So that's what happens. Whatever happens, if it's time to DJ, I DJ. If it's time to do us, it's time to do us. I'm there, I'm doing it. But take care of my family. That's about it.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So this is DOOLEY-O, Alan Jackson. He is one of the awardees tonight, and I'm so honored and proud to call him my friend. And he's married to my soror, so there's that.
And don't forget how much we love the Inner City magazine, controlled by Yoo-hoo.
It's still going on. It's still going on. Thank you, baby.
All right.
Woo! Thank you, thank you. This is going well. Hello, hello. Come say hi. How are you?
Excellent.
Poet. Gosh. Okay, tell the people who you are.
What's going on, beautiful people? This is Frank E. Brady, poet, educational consultant, youth advocate and expert.
So what brings you out tonight?
Well, there's some amazing people, just getting awards and honored, and I believe in giving people their roses without the thorns, and don't wait to put them in the ground to give them their roses. So I came out to show support, and just show love to amazing folks.
Doesn't it feel good that we have a vibrant arts community in New Haven?
Most definitely, one of the best around the country, and I've been across the country, and it's like we have a really strong, vibrant, cultured, grounded, multifaceted arts community, which is, doing amazing. We have some international superstars right in our own backyard in New Haven.
And they are accessible, right? Accessible. And, I'm not saying this to say that we are perfect. We got a lot of work to do to bring us together. But for the most part, we're doing all right.
Yeah, I would say we are doing more than all right. You get to know an individual that's in New Haven, that's an artist. You're going to be able to know their background, their track record, their receipts, the work that they've done in the city, in the state, outside the state, in the country, outside the country. And it's really impressive.
Well, thank you for joining me on the fabulous. I love a man in black, so there you go. I love it. This is a good look. Thank you so much. Enjoy this evening. Hey there. It's so nice to see you. Tell the people who you are.
Lou Mangini from a Broken Umbrella Theater Company.
Yes. And is Broken Umbrella Theater doing their thing this year, or what has the pandemic done for y'all?
It has effectively shut us down. However, we are still doing improv. So every once in a while in our space in Westville at 446A Blake Street, it's Tuesday nights because that's when we rehearse anyway. We spend time there for about an hour. And if we can tell that the weather's going to be nice in a day or two, we tell some people to show up. We throw open the garage.
I saw that!
Yes. We tried for the first time on last Tuesday night to both do the show indoors and outdoors. And when we were doing the show outdoors to broadcast it via Zoom, we forgot to let all the people in the waiting room in until 10 minutes into the show. And we also didn't record the sound. But the video looks nice. Like, we're all up there doing improv. And, yeah, so keep an eye out on social media. Look in those places. That's when we announce when we're doing something or not.
It is so nice to see you. He's an artist. He's supporting the arts, and this is a wonderful night for artists. Like, this is like the Oscars for arts. For New Haven area, this is like the Oscars for us.
With some great award winners. We're here as a Broken Umbrella Theater specifically for Bill Brown and Sally White.
Yay, they're getting the new Schenck Award.
Yeah, we have done improv shows in the barn there, and they were instrumental in helping us with some of the dramaturgy, some of the history on a couple of our shows.
Wow. I love all these connections. Like, our arts community is just so connected. And tonight is really a representation of that community and the connection of the community. So thanks, Lou, for hanging out.
You are welcome. Great to see you.
Great to see you. I can't wait to see you inside. I'll see you around. All right, so we are doing the red carpet. We got a little more time before the show starts. People are gathered. It's looking like a good time. So if anybody want to come chat me up on the red carpet, let's go. Dana is spinning the great music. Hey! Thank you, Ife.
How you doing?
Hello, Sarah Danielle, Dr. Cooper.
I'm good. How are y'all this evening?
What brings a criminal justice advocate professor to the Arts Award?
You know what? I love work that creates great emotion, and I'm here to support our own DOOLEY-O.
Yay! I know, it's amazing. Hey, Miss Lamb, how you doing? That's wonderful. So, do you know any of the other artists?
No, I'm here to learn more. I'm a New Havener. I love to get more and more connected because I'm a transplant. Yes. So then I'm here to learn. I'm here to engage.
Good. I'm so glad that you're out here because you know what? The arts community in New Haven is very open, welcoming to everybody.
I live in Westville, so I get to go to what Dooley does on Sunday and see the many other creative artists there. I love, of course, the many. We have a lot of farmers markets, both in the Westville and in the so I'm there for all of the food, especially creative things. I love the brunch. I love the art. I definitely consider us the New Haven Coopers manifesting in Westville.
I love when I look out onto this pavilion. I see all kinds of people, and I love that. It's like a melting pot of all kinds of culture and ethnicities. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. So is that why you're drawn to this arts thing? I mean, I know DOOLEY-O draws you in, but
for me, it's a deep commitment. I'm the kid who plays multiple instruments. I'm an alto saxophonist. I'm a xylophonist. I'm an oboist. I'm also the kid who loves languages. I'm a statistician, but I also parlez-vous un peu français? Hablo español. I'm learning sign language. I'm learning Italian. I just love to dibble and dabble. You might as well get the languages in if you're learning. You already know.
I know. Listen, I follow her on Duolingo, and I try to keep up.
I took a little break. You got to reset. And so I had one of those weekends where you totally lose the weekend. And so I woke up on Monday like, I'll figure it out next year.
Oh, thank you. Because I wasn't comparing myself, but I was like, man, I wasn't keeping up. I was like, man, she's doing, and I'm learning French, Italian, and Spanish.
For me, the reason why I want to learn Italian is because the University of New Haven has that.
I know, because I see Mike Lawler.
Mike's going this spring. He's there. If you're a student,
they were just there. Now they're back, but they're going again.
Because they went to do, they had to do recon to make sure what they are preparing to bring their students into and for their planning purposes. So I was jealous when they just went. It's so, it's so good.
Oh no, girl, I was jealous for you. I was jealous with you. I was jealous too. So. Well, thank you for hanging out with me on the red carpet.
I knew I would see you today.
There's so many cool people. Hey! Yes, yes. All right, everybody. Lisa Dent from Art Space. She is the leader of Art Space.
Who am I waving to? Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm really happy to be here and see people. Yes.
It's good to be gathered.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my God,
Absolutely.
This is like New Haven's Arts Community Oscar night.
I love it, and I'm so excited to see the people that were awarded and getting to know them a little bit just by hearing the award and then going and look oh, I like their work and hearing about it. Yeah. It was great.
So how are things over at Art Space? What is there an exhibit there that people need to come see?
Yes, we have only 2 weeks left for our exhibition Everywhere in Here. It's the collaboration with the Peabody Museum and there that you won't get to see until the Peabody opens again. So yeah, you want to come down and see these beautiful commissions by emerging artists.
Gosh. All right, people, so you got 2 weeks. You might want to make your way there. So get there or be square. Do people say that?
We say it.
We say it. We say it. Thank you, Lisa Den. I appreciate you hitting the red carpet. Oh, girl, she's going to make you. Hey, come on. Let's walk. Come on the red. Hey. Well, you got to get in front of the camera and tell people. Hi. I know you from the vineyard. Hey, girl. I did not know this was your sister all this time. No. All right, well, here's Alita. Hey, she's slide over a little bit. From the, yes.
We got 10 people here to see my niece get an arts award.
And who's your niece?
Tia Brockington.
Oh my gosh, they were here on the red carpet with me.
Yes, yes.
So how does that feel?
Oh my God. We usually come and support each other as a whole family, but this is special. Yes.
This is why I do this. This is why I serve. This is why I show up. So did you make it to the vineyard this summer?
No, dear, I didn't make it this year.
I made it too early. I went early May. I went in May before the season started. No, listen, it was good. How's your husband doing?
He's doing wonderful.
They come in the vineyard, they come for a day or a weekend. Yes, 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 yes. Well, you know, Alita is a long-time stalwart of the arts in New Haven, and she's sort of semi-retired a little bit, kind of. You know, because she's still serving on boards. So she's still advocating for the arts, so it's lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for hanging out on the red carpet with me.
All right, and thank you for enjoying all of this and making it work, making it happen. Babs makes it happen.
Oh, yes, she does.
Oh, there's a lot of people that make it happen. I just show up in a sparkly outfit and do what I do.
All right.
Thank you very much. Woo! Yes, it's nice to see you. Yes. All right, it is a full-blown party, y'all. We are out here in these art streets at the Lyman Center, and we are doing our thing. Come on and talk to me. I know these folks. Creative Arts Workshop. Yes, we're right there. So slide over a little bit. Musician, arts and ideas. Hiya. Yeah.
Woman right here, Babs Rose Ivy in the gold and the purple, killing it, slaying it, doing big things. We thank you. We love you. I'm trying to be like you. I need people who you are. Okay. So my name is Brianna Williams. I am a singer-songwriter artist here in New Haven, and I do art admin around the city. And yeah, this is my partner Cliff.
And yeah.
Listen, he does more than play jazz. He is jazz. It is so nice to see y'all. It's good to see this arts community so strong.
It feels good.
It does feel good. And we're out, like we're all out.
I know. And it's safe. And it's safe. And it's okay.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, thank you for hanging out with me on the red carpet. Yes, woo! Man, we are having a good time. If you are not at this party, you are nowhere. This is such a good party. I'm feeling good. There's people out here getting their tickets, coming in, going for their seats, hanging out. The DJ, Dana, is bouncing around. She's doing her thing. And the arts community has showed up, and they are showing out, baby. And I'm having a good time. People are talking to me. I'm looking for more people to come talk to me on the red carpet so they can say hi. Hey, Ruby, come talk to me. Come on. It's a party. You, darling. So everybody, this is Ruby Melton. Hey, Miss Schenck, come in here. Come in. I gotta say hello to you. So, this is Ann Schenck, and they are people a little bit in front of our little sign. It's so nice to see you.
Away from New Hampshire to take me down here.
That's what you should do.
That's right.
Yeah, come in a little bit so we can get you on air so people can see you. So, this is Ruby Melton, who serves on the Long Wharf Theater Board and the Schubert Theater Board. This is Ann Schenck, who her and her husband are the foundation for what we are seeing and experiencing tonight. And it is nice to see her. And she's my church sister.
And I'm so happy to be here. It's a old home week, yes.
This is her granddaughter?
Oh, no, a daughter.
Your daughter? Oh, I'm sorry. You look so young. And her daughter, who came from New Hampshire to bring her tonight.
Hi, everybody. It's great to be here.
It's nice to see you. So, are you excited about tonight?
I am super excited. It's nice to be here.
It's been 2 years together.
And in 2018, I was honored by this wonderful. I looked good in a dress, I think. So, but I feel great. I'm really excited, and this is wonderful. And it's so good to see.
It really is. It is very good to see you, and I'm so glad that you could come out. And you look amazing. So thank you. This whole thing.
Right.
So thank y'all for hanging out with me on the red carpet. I will see y'all inside. Thank you very much. Look at this. We're meeting everybody. Everybody's meeting up on the red carpet because Ann Schenck and her husband Newt Schenck are the architects of this 41st anniversary. Like, they started it. So we are celebrating them tonight. And I'm so excited. Woo! Yes, come on. Hey, Dan Fitzmaurice, the Executive Director of the Arts Council, and the lovely and talented Miss Monk, who is our MC tonight. So y'all got to get in a little bit more. A little more. And so Miss Monk is our MC tonight, so I'm so excited. And Dan is our fearless leader. So talk to the people.
Hello. Thank you all for coming. And thank you for being golden. Bringing us into it. Hey, actually, look at all we got gold. It's really nice. It's really nice. So.
We're ready for this holiday season.
Yeah. Sorry. What do you want to tell people?
I want to tell people to give. I want to encourage them to give. Because
I didn't even tell you. No, we've already raised. We already raised $8,000, so we're $8,000 in. We only need $12,000 more. We could handle that in 1 or 2 donations. You having fun?
Yes, this is a good time. Yeah. This has been really fun.
This is really fun.
And Ife has been so helpful getting people to the
Yes, Ife. Thank you, Ife.
Thank you, Ife. It's been good.
All right, I'm going to send somebody else to you.
Yeah, send somebody to me. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Marcella.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to hearing you tonight. All right. It is a full-blown party, y'all. And I hope you're feeling as good as I feel. Hey, what's happening? I knew it'd be some Long Wharf Theater representation.
No. I'm not at Long Wharf anymore.
Where are you?
With Anthony McDonald at the Suver. Yep.
What is going? Is Anthony here?
Changing.
I'm gonna have to jack Anthony up because he's right over there. I'm gonna pull him over here and be like, "Stop it! How you doing?"
I'm doing really good. I'm just so excited to be out and at an event again. Yeah, and this is amazing.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, remember.
This is a good place for us.
Yes, 100%. I mean, the vibe here, everybody's excited. This is amazing.
So, do you know any of the awardees?
You know what? I know some of them, but I haven't looked at the list in a couple of minutes, so I can't tell you off the top of my head. I just met one who's a DJ.
Yes.
He's awesome.
Julio.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like, we got to talk because I want to come to the Schubert and do some stuff. And I was like, all right, let's talk. Give me a call.
Well, thank you for jumping on the red carpet. You always look fabulous.
Oh, thanks. We'll get Anthony up here in a minute.
Yeah, send him over here. It won't be a party unless I see him. Yes. Hey! Oh! Oh! Hey! Ho! All right. So I'm here with the law student woman, Miss Tina. Who is this beautiful girl?
This is my daughter, Ava.
Hi, Miss Tina.
Hello, Babs.
How are you doing?
I am feeling great tonight.
Miss Tina anchors all that arts in Westville at Lotta Studio.
Title.
Well, you anchor that whole. I mean, everything creatively happens because y'all make it happen over here.
Yeah, we got a great group of people. I'm representing some Kate Stevens jewelry.
Oh, I have a bunch of pieces of Kate Stevens.
And some Vintage modern clothing.
Oh! Well, I mean, listen, she's always on the cutting edge of fashion, so listen. It's so nice to see you. It is good. Yeah, see me inside, girl. Hey, Anthony. We got 10 minutes. Hi. Hello. It's nice to see you. Yes. Hi. I'm good. I'm Babs. Come on, get closer. My nose starting to run. So this is Anthony McDonald of Schubert. Ooh. Schubert Theater. He's the new executive director, and you are the CEO?
From Columbus, yeah, it's great.
Welcome, nice to see you. So now what brings y'all to the arts tonight?
Trying to celebrate the amazing that's happening in this community. That's what we're here for.
I know, you know what, it's been a long 2 years, and the arts community is showing up tonight. How does that make you feel?
Amazing. Obviously, Cap has always been a part of it.
Do you feel like people are ready to go back to the theater? I mean, because they're going back to the theater. Do you feel it?
I do. Do you feel it?
I feel it. People are back. They're having fun. We're having a lot of fun at the theater right now.
And people, do you feel like people are masking and doing all the protocols that you asked of them?
Very much so. We have rarely had a problem in the theater thus far having all the rules because it's protecting them, protecting us, and everybody gets to enjoy what we're doing, and that's what matters.
All right, so tell people what's coming up next. I know what's coming up next at the Schubert because I already got my tickets, baby. But tell the people what's going on.
Next Thursday, November 11th, is Dance Theater of Harlem, the Connecticut exclusive engagement. Only here at the Schubert Theater. Next Thursday, the 11th. And then, hold on, then we got another fun project, Mystery Science Theater, next Friday, November 12th.
Is that for the kids or can grown-ups show up?
It's probably for the grown-ups.
But they can bring their kids if they want.
For the next generation. You know?
Thank y'all for showing up. It is so nice to see you. I love this arts community. The Schubert Theater is doing amazing. People are talking about it all over town. You have been everywhere. You have shown up, and people are really embracing you being everywhere and making yourself a part of this community. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, it's still a party, people. We got about 5 more minutes, and then we out. Hey! And here's the leader of the Long Wharf Theater. The leaders. So hello, Jacob Perdue. Hello, Kit. It is nice to see y'all.
You look fantastic.
Yes, you do.
As always.
Gold lame.
All right, so what's going on at the Long Wharf Theater?
You know, we're just getting ready for our next show of the season. We just closed the Chinese Lady.
Oh my God. Woo, that was such a beautiful thing.
Really beautiful. We're really proud of it.
So proud. Yep, and next is Fires in the Mirror, Anna Devere Smith play.
You know, I saw Fires in the Mirror with Anna Devere when it came to Long Wharf, I don't know, 30 years ago, or 40 years, or however long ago it was.
bring the story to our community, and it's going to be a fantastic production in partnership with Baltimore Center Stage. So onward we go with our season.
Feel good to see the arts community in full force. This is like our Oscar night.
Just to like even to like hear like the music that's like coming from, you know, from the neighborhood. It's fantastic. As you're like driving up, you can see like the lights and the music. And, yeah, it's
Thank you for hosting the runway.
Yes.
You know, where there's a microphone, I'll be.
It's
Nice to see y'all.
It's so good to
Thanks
see
for hanging out with me on the red carpet.
Absolutely. Thanks for
Yes,
having us.
yes. I'll see y'all in there. Woo! All right. Oh, hey! Look at the Long Wharf Theater people showing up. They are always showing up. Oh, what did I say? I'm getting my. This is the Arts and Ideas, the International Festival. I had International Festival of Arts and Ideas in my mind. I was.
We love our Longmore friends. We love our Longmore friends.
Right? Okay.
Y'all look fabulous.
Thank you.
Isn't this nice to see all artists out tonight?
Looking good.
It's been a long time since we gathered, right? Thank you. I love velvet. All right. So I asked other international festival folks this question. Can you give us a taste of what we might see next year?
Connection. Connection to community, connection to reconnecting to society, reconnecting with each other. You've heard this before. But more on the green, more fun.
Yes, I heard that too. I can't get anything from these International Festival of Arts and Ideas.
Well, cheers, sweetheart.
Thank you. I'm looking for the other festival folks. This is the first time that I've felt the festival go all the year round. Like, right? Like, I feel like it's just didn't stop.
There's more coming. We have some stuff coming up before the holidays.
Yeah.
So
That's what you know. December. We got stuff coming.
Wait, the International Festival of Arts and Ideas. Thank y'all. Hey, Miss Stevens, my favorite jewelry maker. You know, Miss Tina was repping your jewelry.
Really? That's nice. How are you?
So Kate makes this beautiful jewelry, and she has a studio in Westville. And you can catch her work. You can go to her studio. You can follow her on Instagram. Her work is beautiful. People have gifted me her jewelry, and I bought her jewelry. How you doing?
Good. I'm excited to be here. Thank you. I'm here in support of Dooley. He and I have been co-founded the Westville Arts Market this year.
That thing has been so successful. Are you surprised by that?
I'm actually not. We very much ready for us. So that's where you can come and find jewelry too, and a lot of art.
I'm looking forward to that. All right, so it's about to be a wrap. Thank you so much, Miss Stevens. All right, so we're about to call it a wrap until we. All right, Miss Shelley, come on. And then we're going, hey, Shelley, how are you? Hey, husband, how are you? Hey, Tony. Yeah, you can take it off. All right, so here's the leader of the International Festival of Arts and Ideas. Yeah, because they were like, Babs better not be getting us in trouble. Hi. Don't be, I know, look, we all sparkly. Nice. Yes. So, can you tell us anything? Give us I know, more connection. I got it all. What?
Well, I don't know. What's the art?
I do!
That's what I hear. I can give you some nuggets.
Get you a little closer.
Yeah. So, do you know Octavia Butler? So Octavia Butler wrote a book called Parable of the Sower.
Which is my favorite book on the planet.
And thanks to a partnership with the Schwartz.
Tashi Reagan.
Yes.
I'm on that committee.
We're working to bring the opera to the festival this year. Parable of the
Sower. I saw the opera, and it's one of my favorite things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Fertile ground here for that opera to just take root.
Are you kidding me? When I saw it several years ago, I thought that.
International Fashion Show. And we'll be on the green, of course. Tours, food events, ideas. You'll be able to salsa dance. I can guarantee you that. And I'm hoping you can also two-step out on the green. So I got new hips now.
You know, you got new hips. You can do just about anything. So, all right. Well, thank you for stopping by the red carpet for me. So we're about to shut this down and have everybody go in so we can start this Arts Awards. But I'm telling you, this community showed up and showed out tonight, and I am unbelievably happy.
Oh, you look fabulous.
You look fabulous. Thank you, darling. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so Kevin, should I go? What am I doing? Am I leaving? All right. Thank you all for joining me on the red carpet for the 41st Arts Council Awards at the Lyman Center for the Performing Arts. We're about to go inside and get this show on the road. But we'll be back for the after party, so I want y'all to come, eat, drink, and be merry, baby. And thanks for hanging out with me, Babs Rawls-Ivy, on the red carpet. I'll see y'all.
Welcome to Southern Connecticut State University for the 41st Annual Arts Awards. I'm Bruce Kalk, Dean of Southern's College of Arts and Sciences, speaking to you from the Bewley Art Gallery on campus, where this spring we'll sponsor an extraordinary exhibit of Salvador Dali prints commemorating the 700th anniversary of Dante's birth. This complete, nearly one-of-a-kind collection of prints was commissioned to illustrate Dante's Divine Comedy. We're extremely excited to be a sponsor of this evening's event, especially as we launch Southern's new Arts Administration program this semester. And we're very excited and proud to host the Elm Shakespeare Company in residence at Southern. I know you'll enjoy this evening's program. Welcome to Southern.
Met Interactive is once again proud to sponsor the 41st annual, even COVID didn't stop us last year, Arts Awards. Our company is incredibly proud of the work the Arts Council has done with the Creative Sector Relief Fund, a fund directly investing in Black, Brown, and Indigenous artists and creatives. The Arts Council pivoted quickly during the height of COVID, really to ensure that it was reaching the hardest hit artists. It gave out more than 420 grants worth over $175,000. So Met Interactive wants to congratulate all the teachers, mentors, education advocates, and especially to MIGUEL, GASPAR, BENITEZ, James and Tia Russell, Brockington, DOOLEY-O, Linda Lindroth, Patrick Smith, Bill Brown, Sally Hill. Baby, you are stars. From an organization who's passionate about the arts, here's a really quick video of the work we do as AV and digital signage integrators to help support our great field.
Thank you. We are honored to be here. We are Movimiento Cultural. We're a local New Haven grassroots located right here in New Haven. And we all practice what we love the most, which is bomba. Now, what is bomba? Bomba is the Afro-Puerto Rican rhythm, Afro-Caribbean, because you'll see different variations in other Caribbean islands, but it's connected to our heritage of Africa. So please enjoy. And bomba was meant to play, it's a community thing. You know, everybody plays a role here. we're on stage today, but, you know, normally what we call bombazos, everybody gathers around and moves. So I hope some of you will get up and move to this rhythm. Thank you, thank you. Lita. Yeah.
Dice la negra Martina que grita por los palacios, cayó dentro de una olla de bandazo entre las mallas.
De bandazo va ella, de bandazo anda ella, de bandazo.
Ay, que de bandazo, la negra Martina cayó en la malla de bandazo.
De bandazo anda ella, de bandazo va ella, de bandazo.
Se pasaba todo el día buscando el palacio a ver si alguien la quería, pero todo fue un fracaso.
De bandazo anda ella, de bandazo va ella, de bandazo.
Ay, de bandazo, ahí va la negra, de bandazo.
De bandazo va ella, de bandazo anda ella, de bandazo.
Hoy toditos la recuerdan cuando resbaló en palacio, cuando se cayó en la olla, en la malla paso a paso.
De bandazo va ella, de bandazo anda ella, de bandazo.
Oh, de bandazo, la negra Martina cayó en la malla de bandazo.
De bandazo va ella, de bandazo anda ella, de bandazo.
Me dicen los que la vieron que brincó por los palacios, cayó en la malla de espina, en la olla de bandazo.
De bandazo va ella, de bandazo anda ella, de bandazo.
Ay, de bandazo, ay, de bandazo es que va ella, de bandazo.
De bandazo va ella, de bandazo anda ella, de bandazo.
Ay, de bandazo, tome un pedazo en el palacio.
De bandazo va ella, de bandazo anda ella, de bandazo.
Oh, que de bandazo, ahí va la negra, de bandazo.
De bandazo va ella, de bandazo anda ella, de bandazo.
Estuvo a la defensiva y no se dejó matar. Es que la negra Martina era brava de verdad.
Bomba.
Bomba.
Will we continue?
Holandés. Laure ñangato, no me lo tires que te lo mato.
Laure ñangato, no me lo tires que te lo mato.
Me fui pa' un baile de bomba, donde vivas el cincel. Escuché cuando cantaban al sonar de un holandés.
Laure ñangato, no me lo tires que te lo mato.
No me lo tires que te lo mato, no me lo tires que te lo mato, no me lo tires que te lo mato. Laure
ñangato, no me lo tires que te lo mato.
La gente todos cantaban, se pusieron los pies a bailar con mi mulata, ese ritmo de holandés.
Laure ñangato, no me lo tires que te lo mato.
Laure ñangato, ay qué maltrato, Laure, ñangato, no me lo tires que te lo mato.
Ñangato, Laure, ñangato, Laure, ñangato, no me lo tires que te lo mato.
Laure, ñangato, ay qué maltrato, no me lo tires que te lo mato.
Laure, ñangato, Laure, ñangato, Laure, ñangato, no me lo tires que te lo mato.
Laure, ñangato, no me lo tires que te lo mato.
Laure, ñangato, Laure, ñangato, Laure, ñangato, no me lo tires que te lo mato.
Ay, no me lo tires que te lo mato. Ay, Laure, que maltrato.
No me lo tires que te lo mato.
Ay, no me lo tires que te lo mato.
No me lo tires que te lo mato.
Ay, Laure, Pepe miato.
No me lo tires que te lo mato.
Ay, mi tía, Pepe miato.
No me lo tires que te lo mato.
Ay, no te nuyes de jangato.
No me lo tires que te lo mato.
Ay, no me lo tires que te lo mato.
No me lo tires que te lo mato.
Ay, baila leña, jangato.
No me lo tires que te lo mato.
Oye, mi tía, que maltrato.
No me lo tires que te lo mato.
Ay, Laure, Pepe miato.
No me lo tires que te lo mato.
Ay, no me lo tires que te lo mato.
No me lo tires que te lo mato.
Maniungue pato el gato.
No me lo tires que te lo mato. 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 No me lo tires que te lo mato.
Y de golpe.
Que te lo mato.
No me lo tires que te lo mato.
No me lo tires que te lo mato.
Laure, ñangato, Laure, ñangato, Laure, ñangato, no me lo tires que te lo mato.
Laure, ñangato, Laure, ñangato, Laure, ñangato, no me lo tires que te lo mato. Laure, ñangato, Laure, ñangato, Laure, ñangato, no me lo tires que te lo mato.
Bomba.
When we play bomba, these drums are traditional called barriles de bomba, and the relation, it can be two or more, but there's always a couple of drums that follow the rhythm, a steady beat, while there's an improviser called primo. Primo in Spanish means cousin, but it's not coming from that word, it's coming from premier, from the French Creole. So. And then there's a communication between the dancer and the primo, where the dancer establishes the movements, what we call the piquetes, and the primo has to follow her. So that's the communication between the drum and the dancer.
Give it up for Brenda Lee Cepeda.
And we have Brenda Lee Cepeda, a famous third generation of bomba players from Puerto Rico. And she has her own institution called Bomba de Aquí. So look her up. All right, we ready?
Na, 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 na adiviné. Na, 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 na adiviné. Los barriles están sonando de Loíza Mayagüez.
Na, 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 na adiviné.
Ella lo, na adiviné se mueve.
Na, 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 na adiviné.
Que vendías me lo dijo, na adiviné esa se.
Na, na,
Feel that
na,
rhythm.
na adiviné.
No, na adiviné.
Na adiviné.
Vámonos para New Haven pa' bailar un bien colbé.
Na adiviné.
Cesa, no, na adiviné.
Na adiviné.
Ay, no, na adiviné. Na adiviné se mueve.
Na adiviné.
Ay, no, na adiviné. Na adiviné sanse.
Na
barriles van sonando de Loíza a Mayagüez.
Na, 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 na,
Bomba. Na, adiviné. Na, adiviné.
na, 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 adiviné.
All right, guys.
Los barriles van sonando
You ready?
de Loíza a Mayagüez.
I'm gonna teach you guys how to dance.
Na,
You ready? I know you feel the beat. My girls singing are amazing. I said mine, Kevin, don't kill me.
na, adiviné.
This is, if this doesn't inspire you to dance, I don't know what is. Are you guys ready? All right, ladies.
Na, adiviné.
Move side to side. Just like this. All right. Move your hip a little bit. Just a little bit. My men, I want to see some muscles.
Na, 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 adiviné.
All right, let's have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. All right? You're gonna follow me. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Na, 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 adiviné.
Go ahead and twirl if you can. All right, you guys ready? Why don't some of you guys step out? Let's try it again. You ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Na, 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 adiviné.
There you go. Hey. Hey, all right.
Na, adiviné.
Ooh, I would love to have you come down here and dance. If you guys feel the beat, go ahead and come down and dance. Eso.
Na, 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 adiviné. Que suenen todos los barriles, na, na, adiviné, santé.
Na, 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 adiviné.
No, na, na, adiviné.
Na, 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 adiviné.
Todo el mundo está tocando, con traje le muecan de.
Na, 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 na,
there you go,
adiviné.
there you go.
Habla.
Hey.
Na, 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 na,
Na, adiviné. Na, 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 adiviné.
There you go.
Na, 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 adiviné.
Beautiful job.
Bomba.
That was amazing.
Give it up for all of you. You're amazing.
Thank you. Give yourself a round of applause, all those that got up and moved and feel the rhythm. That's what it's all about, being in community and dancing together. So we have another Sika, and this time any of you that feel, that knows, anybody here have danced bomba before? Any show of hands? How many
If you
wanna
have
dance
ever
bomba?
danced or you want to learn how to dance, you are welcome to join us in the stage.
Leave some space so they can come in. Come up here. We got some bomberas, some bomberos. They're brave enough.
Okay. Let's give it a hand. Let's give them a hand. Welcome, welcome.
A la verde gay. A la verde gay. Mi mamá no quiere que yo vaya a la verde gay. A la verde gay. Mi mamá no quiere que yo vaya a la verde gay. El coro dice así.
A la verde gay, a la verde gay. Mi mamá no quiere que
yo
right, just
vaya a
like
la
that.
Verdegué.
Good job.
Salí de Santurce
There you
para el
go.
pueblo de Mayagüez.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a little
Pero
different.
me dijeron
I'm going to
que
take
no
one of you
vaya a la
guys
Verdegué.
out one at a time.
¿Por qué?
Whatever you feel in the drum,
A la
just
Verdegué.
express it right in front, okay?
Mi mamá
'Cause
no
that's the kind
quiere
of day
que
it
yo
is.
vaya
We're
a
going to
la
let out all the
Verdegué.
energy right there.
A
We're
la
going to start with you.
Verdegué. A la Verdegué.
You got to start. Don't look at me like
Mamá no
that.
quiere
Don't
que
look
yo
at me like
vaya a
that.
la Verdegué.
Right there. He's
Ni por 20
right there.
reales yo me voy a la Verdegué.
There you go.
Oh, a la
Right there.
Verdegué, yo me
Eso.
voy a la Verdegué. A la Verdegué.
Yeah.
Mi mamá no quiere que
All
yo
right.
vaya a la
Who's
Verdegué.
All
A
right.
la Verdegué.
Oh, beautiful.
A la
Thank you, baby.
Verdegué.
Thank you, baby. That was
Mi
beautiful.
mamá
Thank
no
you.
quiere que yo
Oh.
vaya a la Verdegué. Porque hay una negra que cuando
fue
fuma
eso?
puro café.
Hey, all
Que pone
right.
los hombres arrastrando hasta los pies. A la Verdegué. A la Verdegué.
He
A
ain't
la
playing.
Verdegué. Mi
Who's
mamá
next? You wanna
no
come,
quiere
baby?
que yo vaya a
All
la
right, baby.
Verdegué.
You coming with me.
A la Verdegué.
Right there's the drummer.
A la Verdegué. Mi
Let
mamá
it out,
no
baby.
quiere que yo
Let it
vaya
out.
a la Verdegué.
Let it out. There you go.
A la Verdegué.
Suave, suave, suave.
Mi mamá no quiere que yo vaya a la
Eso,
Verdegué.
there you go.
A la Verdegué.
Where's the
A la
one that was
Verdegué.
hiding? Where's the
Mi
one
mamá
hiding?
no quiere que yo
Right
vaya
there.
a la Verdegué.
Thank
A
you,
la
baby.
Verdegué. A la Verdegué. Mi mamá no quiere
got time
que
for
yo
one
vaya
more.
a la Verdegué. A
And
la
of course
verde, la
he's
verde,
hiding.
la verde, la verde, la verde,
No,
la
baby,
verde,
you
la
ain't
verde,
recording
que es
nothing.
así.
Come on, you
Mi
told me you
mamá
was
no
going to dance with
quiere
me.
que yo vaya a la Verdegué.
Oh,
A la Verdegué. A la
All right.
Verdegué. A la
He
Verdegué.
said-
Mi mamá no
he said he
quiere
didn't wanna
que yo
dance.
vaya a la Verdegué.
And now he's going to dance.
A la Verdegué. A la Verdegué. Mi mamá no quiere que yo vaya a la Verdegué. Ni por 20 reales yo me voy a la Verdegué. A la Verdegué, yo no voy a la Verdegué. A la Verdegué. A la
Who's next?
Verdegué.
Oh, he was,
Mi mamá no
he was
quiere
ready.
que yo vaya a la
Last one,
Verdegué.
last one, el último, el último.
A la
El
Verdegué.
último. All right.
A la Verdegué. Mi mamá no quiere que yo vaya a la Verdegué.
Eso.
Por 20 reales yo me voy a la Verdegué.
Ahora sí. ¡Qué rico! There you go.
A la Verdegué. A la Verdegué. Mi mamá no quiere que yo vaya a la Verdegué.
All right, guys.
A la Verdegué. A la Verdegué. Mi mamá no quiere que yo vaya a la Verdegué. A la casa de Kevin yo
Oh, we
no
got time.
voy a
We got
tomar
time.
café.
Who's next?
Porque me dijeron que no
Oh,
vaya
see?
a la Verdegué.
Oh, I guess you got to do it, baby.
Verdegué, a la
They said we got
Verdegué,
time. Go ahead.
a la
We got
Verdegué.
time.
Mi mamá no quiere que yo vaya a la Verdegué.
Yes.
A la Verdegué.
Oh, they don't know. They don't know. Show
A
them.
la Verdegué.
Show them. They don't know. Show
Mi
them.
mamá no
There you
quiere
go.
que yo vaya a la
Eso.
Verdegué. A
Yeah.
la Verdegué. A la Verdegué. Mi mamá no
Yeah.
quiere que yo vaya a la
Eso.
Verdegué.
Yeah.
A
Show
la
them where it comes
Verdegué.
from.
A la Verdegué.
Yeah. Oh.
Mi mamá
Nana.
no quiere que
None
yo
of that,
vaya
girlfriend.
a la
None of
Verdegué. Oye, mi amor, la bomba la canto por donde quiera. Un saludo bien especial a las buenas compañeras.
We got time for one
Verdegué,
more.
a la Verdegué. Mi mamá no quiere que yo vaya a la Verdegué.
We're going to end
A
it
la
right here. Look at these
Verdegué,
beautiful sisters
a la
sharing the
Verdegué.
stage. Beautiful.
Mi mamá no quiere que yo vaya a la Verdegué.
Yes. Beautiful.
Sea allá. Bambula sea allá.
Everybody stand up. Let's end it.
Sea
Let's end the dancing. Let's celebrate.
Bambula
Hey.
Bambula ese allá. Bomba de Loíza pa' bailar.
Bambula ese
Y
allá.
bomba puertorriqueña.
Bambula ese
Y
allá.
bomba
That's where it came from. All right.
tradicional.
Oh! All right.
Sea allá.
Bambula
Ah.
Sea allá.
Bambula ese
De
allá.
padre zapano bomba.
Bambula ese
Y
allá.
bomba de Loíza pa' bailar.
Bambula ese allá.
Oh, I know that too, baby.
Bambula ese
All right, we. You coming? We're gonna end it.
Bambula
Who's ready?
ese allá.
Sea allá.
Bambula 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 ese allá.
Bomba. Bomba.
A big round of applause for all the people that are here. This is what it's about. It's dancing to the drum, connecting with your roots. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are Movimiento Cultural. You can look us up at movimientoculturalct.org. Please, or on Facebook, or on Instagram. Feel free to look us up, drop a comment. Again, thank you to the Greater New Haven's Art Council, 41st Award. And I have here our singers, Jasmine Vega, Sara Dervala, Pedro Amaro Reyes, Alex Rosado from Loíza, Reynaldo Cruz in the choir, and our master dancer, give it up for Brendalí Cepeda. Thank you all, thank you. Bomba.
Wow, let's hear it again for Movimiento. Movimiento Cultural. Wow, that's a tough act to follow. Well, I don't have a performance to do, but I'm here nonetheless. And they are incredible. Let's hear it again for them. Movimiento Cultural. Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Marcella Monk Flake, and I am a creative. Come on, let's hear it for the creatives in the room. Welcome to the 41st Annual Arts Awards. This year, we're celebrating the vision and achievements of some awesome individuals. And that's so important because arts educators and creatives such as those you will meet tonight prepare our youth and communities for success and enrich our lives at the intersection of the arts, culture, and social justice. Plato wrote, "I would teach children music, physics, and philosophy, but most importantly, music, for the patterns in music and all the arts are the keys to learning." What do you think about that? All right. So today we say thank you to our distinguished honorees. Thank you for preserving our history and providing opportunities for students to creatively express the internal songs that interrupt them during biology lessons. Thank you for providing venues to channel their constant urges to tap out a polyrhythmic drum solo and to create imaginative graffiti on empty walls. These gifts and behaviors would otherwise go unacknowledged, unappreciated, and possibly met with punitive consequences. So from the heart of a little 9-year-old Marcella Monk, who lived on Cedar Street and who wanted to sing like Aretha Franklin, Gladys Knight, Shirley Caesar, all of them. I say to you, thank you. Now, a little housekeeping. You know, we're so excited to celebrate safely with you tonight. But if you're in the room, please keep your mask on at all times. And if you're watching from home, hi, how are you? We're so glad you're joining us. Last but most importantly, tonight is a benefit for the Arts Council of New Haven's, the Arts Council of Greater New Haven's Creative Sector Relief Fund. Now I'm going to go back to my church roots, and I'm going to try that again. So, last but most importantly, tonight is a benefit for the Arts Council of Greater New Haven's Creative Sector Relief Fund. There we go. There we go. Now, we've already distributed $300,000 since the pandemic started. And thanks to our sponsors, your ticket purchases tonight already directly benefits that fund. But if you can, please make an additional donation to help us reach our goal of $20,000. Now, little birdie told me that we're close, that some wonderful things happen tonight, but be a part of that group who helps the Art Council make that $20,000 goal. And all the details are on the handout that you've been given tonight. So, let's get started. And let's welcome the 41st Annual Arts Award recipients to the stage. Come on, let's make some noise. Yeah, let's make some noise. Come on, honorees, yes. Come on, keep the applause coming, come on, let's make some noise. Let's make some noise. Are we all here? We need more noise? We need more noise? We need more noise. This is absolutely beautiful. Okay, before we begin, first we must thank everyone who nominated arts educators for an arts award this year. And a big thank you to the jury, Mary Abrams, Johanna Bresnick, Eric Guinness, Hanan Hameen, Jennifer Hudson, Patricia Melton, and Milda McLean. Thank you for selecting our recipients. I've not had the honor of meeting all of our awardees, but several of them I know well and I know their work well. And I say to you, thank you for all you've done for our community. Patrick Smith. Patrick Smith is Cooperative Arts and Humanities High School lead music teacher. Patrick Smith has nurtured a twin love for music and the martial arts since he was 4 years old and discovered the marimba. 4 decades ago, he moved to New Haven for graduate school at the Yale School of Music after a successful career as a touring musician. When he met his wife, he found that the classroom had a way of pulling him in. He has helped grow the music program at Co-op from 5 band students, wait for it, to a 60-piece wind ensemble, 2 25-piece jazz bands, a 100-voice choir, and a 45-piece orchestra. Pat, you know you have a very special place in my heart. Congratulations.
I have a gift for you. It's following the gift that you were already given by that fantastic drumming and singing and dancing group, who I want to personally thank for being here. So sound is healing. Drumming is healing. Singing and dancing is healing. Drawing and painting is healing. And what we try to do is heal when we go to school. You know, the Chinese have a great aphorism. It's 10,000 roads, it's 10,000 miles, it's 10,000 books. Everything is 10,000. It's a metaphor for everything that you do in your life. And in my life, I've been extremely fortunate to have met, I don't know, say 10,000 people. And having been honored to travel to 10,000 places. And what I discovered along the way is that I have a few very close friends, a couple of whom are actually on the stage tonight. My best man is sitting on the end there. And in that travel, I discovered that the friends that I had were very close, and everyone else was my teacher. And today, I was at a building downtown with 600 teachers. And every day I've been in that building for the last 27 years or so with 600 teachers. And I get a great set of lessons every day. Those teachers have taught me to listen more than I talk, and certainly to think a little bit before I speak. And I think that working with all those teachers, as well as some of the grown-up teachers that I'm very thankful are here tonight, Harriet Alford of the 100-piece choir, and my boss and colleague, Amy Migliori, who's here, I want to thank her especially. But what they've taught me are the lessons that have allowed me to be honored by this gift. And I want to thank you all for having me up here with you. Bravo to all of you, bravo to all of us. And let's keep healing.
Thank you, Pat. Next, we have Miguel Gaspar Benitez. Miguel was born and raised in Hamden. Miguel Gaspar Benitez refers to himself as a ceramic artist by degree, but a teacher by trade. In 2007, he became a counselor at Neighborhood Music School's Summer Audubon Arts Program, which morphed, come on, that's all right, I can bring it. Which morphed into a position as its art director over a series of 6 years. After graduating from college from Southern Connecticut State University in 2013, he became an arts instructor in New Haven and West Haven and hasn't stopped teaching ever since, and recently completed his master's degree at Maine College of Art. Congratulations, Miguel.
All right, thank you. I just wanted to say it feels odd to have an award, but really I'm just grateful that that so many people in the audience itself and you know, friends and family here helped me get to where I am. Yeah, so as much as education helps others, it you know, helps yourself too. So I just wanted to give a special thank you to Amy Migliori and Ann Tubis and Fendest, and to all my educator friends who are in the audience. So thank you so much.
Next, we have Linda Lindroth. Welcome, Linda, to the stage. Linda Lindroth has exhibited her photographs in mixed media art internationally since 1972. She's received awards, prizes, and fellowships from the New Jersey and Connecticut State Councils on the Arts, the National Endowment for the Arts, the New England Foundation for the Arts, and the Foundation for Contemporary Art. Wow. Come on, let's hear it for her. After receiving her undergraduate and graduate degrees from Rutgers University, she also taught photography there. Since 1998, she has taught at Quinnipiac University. Congratulations, Linda.
I'd like to thank Daniel and Winter for putting together this extravaganza.
Mostly Winter.
And I'd like to thank my husband, Craig Newick. Craig is the first one to hear all of my crazy ideas. And because this is the closest I'm ever going to get to an Oscar speech, I have a few people to thank. But mostly I'd like to thank Bitsy Clark. When I moved to New Haven from New Jersey in 1984, I met Bitsy, I joined the Arts Council, and I got health care from the Yale Health Plan. And who would do that? Who would give artists health care from the Yale Health Plan? Must have been a Girl Scout. I'd also like to tell you that that health plan and that health care helped me have my son, Zach Newick, who you have to understand that the patience of the children of artists is vast. They are dragged to museums. Zach had to see every Turner in London. And I appreciate his love and support. I would like to address any politician, any legislator in the audience, anybody who works to do our bidding, who we elect, to buy art. Buy art, put it on your walls of your home, put it on the walls of your offices, have the art behind you in your Zoom meetings and behind you when you're on TV. And one other thing, create legislation so that artists can deduct the market value of their art from their taxes and not just the cost of their art supplies. Thank you all for coming.
I like her. I like that spirit. That's all right. Next, I'm going to introduce James and Tia Russell Brockington. James and Tia are co-owners and founders of the Tia Russell Dance Studio. James and Tia Russell Brockington provide a positive atmosphere and haven for dancers of all ages in our region. Together, they have produced over 23 stage productions, including their first film this past June during the pandemic. Through their love and concern for the well-being of their students and their growth, they have also started a nonprofit charitable organization, the Brockington Arts Institute, to advance the knowledge, training, and artistic ability of Connecticut's low-income artists. Congratulations, Tia and James.
Come on, y'all can do better than that. Come on, come on, come on. Let's make some noise. Let's get excited. We're here to celebrate. It's a lot of energy in this room. It's a lot of personality in this room. So you should make some noise. Come on, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Come on. That's right, that's right. I'm excited, I'm excited. The reason why, excuse me, thank you. Start there. But the reason why I'm super excited is because when she was reading and she said over 23 stage productions, when she said our movie will be produced, that's opportunity for our kids to be here on this very stage, this large platform, to perform and to showcase their talent. So it's not about us. So I'm excited for them. So can we give our community, our students a round of applause, please? Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So I was told that we get 2 minutes, and guess what? I'm gonna use all of it, right? Thank you, Miss Monk. I appreciate it, Miss Flick. Thank you so much. Wonderful job, excellent job. We have been fortunate enough to receive this honor. We've been doing this now for going on a decade. So we're really excited to do what we do. We want to say thank you to the entire Arts Council of Greater New Haven, because our experience has been phenomenal from when we walked through the door with Black Haven, Lotta Studio, where our with the photography, up until the video that you're going to see. It has been an amazing experience. So kudos to the Greater Arts Council of Greater New Haven, because I want to shout them up, because this is important that we're here in person. This is important because as artists, we put on productions, but if we're not here in person, what are we producing? So it's very important. So can we please give the behind the scenes, all the people in the light booth, everyone working this microphone, the spotlight, everyone working behind the scenes, whether you are creative or administrative, putting this production together. We are excited because we felt welcomed when we came outside and we saw those pretty lights, and we saw Ms. Babs out there hosting the red carpet. So shout out to you too, also Ms. Babs. Let's give her a round of applause. She was out there cold and working hard, right? But most importantly, I want to say thank you to our family. We have Tia's mom is in the audience, our family, her cousins and relatives. My baby is watching live with my mom, so hi baby, hi London, right? I want to say thank you to our TRDS family. I see some of you here. That's what I'm talking about, TRDS. That's it. So what happens is when I said TRDS, y'all should have jumped in so we all sound like we're making some noise. So TRDS, let's make some noise. There we go, TRDS is here, that's right, that's right. And of course, I cannot stand here without saying thank you to our church family, Upon This Rock Ministries. Where are you? Where are you? Come on, come on, come on. That's it, we like to make noise. But honestly, we are really excited to be here because, like I said, we've been doing this for a while. And of course, in the pandemic, it was a little shaky for everyone, right? It was shaky for everyone. If you were an artist, especially if you have a brick and mortar business, it was very, very, very challenging because you wondered, what are you going to do? If you don't have the clients, how are you going to stay afloat? So there's entrepreneurs here that are artists that are working behind the scenes, and they're keeping their businesses open and they're striving. So I understand your struggle, I understand your challenge, and I would like to honor you with this award as well also, please. I want to honor you, and the reason why I want to honor you is because when we were standing here, when we were in our position, when our business had to shut down for 8 months, right? For 8 long months, there was 0 students, and our organization, we have pre-pandemic, we had over 450 students at our establishment. So to shut everything down, it was really, really, really challenging. And in that moment, we had to kind of just stop, pause for a moment, and we had to build our faith. That is what got us through. So if you can take away anything, I would encourage you to build your faith. This is a prayer answered for us. This is a prayer answered for us because the reality is we pray this into manifestation. We're being honored for just doing what we love to do. How often do you get honored to do what you love to do? So I'm just grateful. I'm just excited. I'm glad you're here watching. I'm glad you're home watching. And doesn't my wife look beautiful? This is Tia V. Russell, okay? Let's give her a round of applause. Tia V. Russell here, right?
He said it all. But I just sincerely just want to say thank you. This is a very pleasant surprise for us. We were not expecting this. We're just happy to be here, happy for the support, and thank you all.
Tia the Russell, everybody. No, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, James, Reverend James. No, this is awesome. The spirit in this room is just absolutely beautiful. And so I'm just so glad that you felt the liberty to just express yourself because it's so important. It's just beautiful. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, we will call Alan DOOLEY-O Jackson. All right. Alan DOOLEY-O Jackson, born and raised in New Haven. DOOLEY-O is one of our longest running and most creative DJs and multimedia artists, making a name for himself as a musician, painter, graffiti artist, and performer around New Haven and the region. 5 decades into his work, he continues to unearth musical history from his basement archive, creating dizzying, complex paintings at his West River Art Studio. And on top of that, he's mentored countless artists. Congratulations, DOOLEY-O.
I'm getting emotional. I might cry, is that all right? You can ask my wife, I cry during movies, and I cry after I eat Pepe's Pizza, because it's so good. I'd like to thank God first. Okay. I'd like to thank my wife. She asked God for me. But I don't think she knew what she was getting into. I'd like to thank Arts Council, Greater New Haven, give it up. Thank you. Other art communities here, like Art Space, Creative Art Workshop. A lot of studios. All right. Miss Stina and Luke got that eye. They can make wonders out of you. West River Arts. Westville. Westville got it popping right now. You got to compete with Westville. My brothers, my father, my family, Marshall Wells, my father-in-law. I had a list of names, and I'm sorry if I missed some people, my boy JC, I ain't gonna miss you. I love you. So, like I said, I had a list of names and everybody, but the thing is, Frank still has my phone with my list. Okay, so Frank, hold on to that because this got to come straight from the heart. Real quick, I got a story to tell you about myself. When I was in Wilbercross High School, I was a C and a D guy. That was my grades. So one day, I happened to go past the psychology class. It was all white kids in the class. I said, what do they know that I don't know? Why is that class like that and the other classes are mixed up? So let me go take that psychology class and check it out. Right? So I'm in the class. Then I found out the class wasn't for me because I was too busy drawing in the class. So the psychology teacher said, Mr. Jackson, are you interested in this class? I said, I thought I was. And he says to me, Mr. Jackson, because every time I look at you while I'm talking, you're drawing. I said, yeah, that's right. And he said, Mr. Jackson, how about you go to the theater and arts class? I said, do they have one here at Wilbercross? You understand where I'm getting at? Do they have one here at Wilbercross? All right? So he guided me to the counselor. The counselor guided me to the new class. We did 2 paintings, and we did 2 plays. And mark my words, there's a play, a tape, a VHS tape of Dooley-O, 2 plays doing an incredible Denzel Washington type of job. You know what I'm saying? So listen, right? Real quick, I'm trying to be quick, but listen. So the report card comes. I'm still that C and D guy, but guess where I got an A+ at? The art teacher, theater teacher was like, man, you are incredible. You are incredible. You should do something with this. And I was like, what? He had no answer for me. Right? So every day I look out the window, it's 12 o'clock, and I see the same bunch of white kids going on. Where are these kids going at 12 o'clock? Where could they be going? They were going to ECA. What is ECA, I said? It's an art school. Art school? You mean like Fame? Remember the movie Fame? I'm like, where's that at? So I'm catching the bus. Every day I keep seeing these kids. We had a half a day. I followed one of them. Went to the doors of ECA, Audubon Street. We know how Audubon looks, right? Stepped out the bus in front of ECA and was like, listen, I lived on Liberty Street in the Hill on top of the train station in the white apartments. Okay? I looked at Audubon like, damn, this ain't for me. Right? There's nobody here to, here, Dooley, come on inside. This ain't for me. And it reminded me of the time when I was in 6th grade and I started to play the violin. Okay? Until one day, another boy came up to me and said, yo, that's a girl instrument. Guess what happened to the violin? No more. I say this through all that. The next day I went to school. There was graffiti on my school. And then the next day I was like, who the hell put graffiti all over our school? I didn't like it at all. But the next day, somebody else came along and did some real graffiti art. It was art more than graffiti. And that kick-started my career at the age of probably 13. Okay. but to say, I want all the art communities here to open your doors and find these children that are interested. Because you will never know if your door is closed and we are here, but why the whole damn New Haven's not here right now to celebrate DOOLEY-O's accomplishments? Okay. I done cried inside enough that makes me want to go to the bathroom. But to say thank you, and to all the struggling artists, just tell them to cut the check. To all my Westville family, my New Haven family, I love you. Thank you. TSB.
Wow. Now we're going to have a special award. We're going to present an award to Bill Brown and Sally Hill. Keep it coming. I'll wait. Keep it coming. Yes. This year, the C. Newton Schenck III Award for Lifetime Achievement and Contribution to the Arts is awarded to Bill Brown and Sally Hill. Partners in life and in work, Bill Brown and Sally Hill led the Eli Whitney Museum and Workshop through over 3 decades of explosive creativity growth and joyful tinkering. From 1988 to their retirement earlier this year, the two turned the former factory dam and historic site into a hub of activity for the greater New Haven community, from an apprenticeship program for young people to opportunities for artists and makers of all ages. Sally, who holds an MFA in graphic design from the Yale School of Art, became widely known and beloved for her focus on STEAM education and the widely popular Leonardo Challenge, which continued even through the pandemic. Bill has lived his life as an educator, from Head Start and early childhood education to time in the Peace Corps and studies in social work. So congratulations, Bill and Sally, and thank you.
Can I give you my crutches? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so I agreed to this because I thought it was a Lifetime Achievement Award for staying, working for 33 years, 24/7 with the same person and still coming out as friends. That's a lifetime achievement for both of us. We're not easy to be around, either of us. But it worked pretty much because we were a complement to one another. Bill, as many of you know, writes exquisitely, and I like to make the words look nice. And Bill's words, which is what you're going to miss, because people would say to me, "Who writes the stuff you send out?" And I said, "Oh, if it's profound, it's Bill. If it's profane, it's me." And he loves to start things, way too many things. And I get a real kick out of getting things done and finishing them. So the other thing is that I tell jokes and he laughs at them. So it worked out to be a fairly good teamwork. And if you really like what you do, it's not work. So we worked a lot. And I've got some advice and for everybody in the world. It's by way of correcting some really terrible misattributions. And the weird thing is, on the way here on NPR, we heard something about Yale put out a book of quotations. They updated their quotations book, and I thought, they took my stuff. So if you read this somehow at the Yale book, I had it first here tonight. I did not take this from them. So there was in 1997, there was a woman named Mary Schmeck, who was a columnist for the Chicago Tribune, and she wrote this fantastic hypothetical commencement speech, which she would give if anyone had ever asked her to. And the whole article was about, it was wide-ranging advice for how to live your life without any regret. And it started famously, wear sunscreen. Now, for those of you over a certain age, you're going to recognize that quote because it was attributed to Kurt Vonnegut as being an actual speech he gave to MIT, a commencement speech. And it wasn't. This was Mary Schmeck. She also did things like advice like youth is probably wasted on the young. That came from her. And here's one for you. It's read the directions even if you don't follow. So those are all this woman. She was brilliant. So the other thing she advised was do one thing every day that scares you. Now, the bad news is it was misattributed again. But the good news is it was attributed to Eleanor Roosevelt, so at least it went to another woman. And so I've always wanted to do stand-up comedy, and I figured this is my last chance. I've got an audience, and I'm standing. That's it. And I'm standing, which is, a year, which is good. Yes. So, and the last thing, and this is a little more serious, and Sigmund Freud really did not actually say the words, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, but he did teach that not everything signifies something other than what it plainly is. So it's vital that we call out misdeeds and transgressions, but we also need to be brave enough to call out bullshit when it's presented as reality. So, yep. So sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. And my final advice, and I'm going to apologize to Mary Schmeck because I'm going to misquote her. To all of you, wear bug spray. And anybody who doesn't know why that's funny should turn around to somebody who does and ask them why.
Two minutes to thank a room full of people, each of whom I probably owe an awful lot of gratitude to. I do have to say that we met at Creative Arts Workshop. I was typing up a program for a robot show. She was standing behind me. She said, "Ooh, what are you doing?" And I said, "I'm typing up a prospect for a show on robots and what they mean to kids." And she said, "This is how you're going to do it." And the truth is that I've followed her directions ever since. It is an honor to be here on the stage tonight with people who are stretching the meaning of education. It's absolutely essential that children get educated on stages, in dance studios, in concert halls, and in dark rooms for you, and in our case, in a workshop. We were drawn to the museum by an essay by Jacob Bronowski a little bit before we came to the museum. And it was a brilliant, it was called The Ascent of Man, and it was a brilliant explanation of how culture evolved. And of the Industrial Revolution, he said, you must remember that the credit is due not to learning in the classroom, not to individual genius inventors, but to the collaboration of practical men, in that time he said men, practical men encountering new tools and learning new ways to make things. And that inspiration fit for the opportunities that there were at the Eli Whitney Museum. Our years there have been a sort of 30-year laboratory test of this thesis that there is a special kind of learning in a workshop that doesn't happen any other place. It has to happen in a workshop. And that's involved 600 apprentices, 350,000 hours of their work, 1 million plus students, all of this in an epoch of substantial technological change. And we would want to make clear that that development, that growth that happened with those apprentices is what made us and not the other way around. In the metaphor of tonight's You're a Star, Baby, we would say we're not so much stars, but points of light in a very lively constellation. And we're honored to be part of that constellation. And nobody completely understands what we do, so I'm going to give you just 2 examples of kids' moments that were really important to me over the last 33 years. And there are a whole bunch of kids in this room that I'm not going to mention, and that's the way it happens. So imagine that you're in Chicago, it's 2 a.m., you're Allie Carroll, you're in your very first surgical residency after medical school, and you're in an operating room watching a doctor extract a blood bleed from the brain of someone who fainted in a store very close to the hospital. They brought him in quickly enough that they could open up the skull and take out the blood, and she helped with the suctioning. And the doctor looked at her and said, so, see that drill? Have you ever used a drill before? And she went, well, actually, not on a skull, but I've used a drill on everything else. And he said, great, here's the drill. And successfully, she reassembled the skull. And when she explained this to me, she said, you know, I'm grateful that I learned to use a drill in my apprenticeship at the Eli Whitney Museum, but I'm really grateful for the attitude that I got, mostly from Sally, that said, don't be cautious. You're ready to learn, get out there and learn. And so she picked up that drill and did what she knew she could do. A remarkable kid. She was going to be fine all on her own because she's born a star. The other kid whose story with us I want to mention is Ray Walker. Ray, I'm not quite sure how we first met Ray, but when I called for a reference from his teacher, she went, Ray? You want Ray? Oh, the best I can say of him is he's never read a book. And I said, okay, but we like him. And the thing about Ray was that he was very good at reading people, and he was very good at learning from people. That meant that the 6-year-old who taught him how to focus his strategy in Mancala, he was grateful for that because he became a very good Mancala player. That meant that the co-apprentices, other 14-year-olds who were learning this business of setting up networks for computers, they recognized that he was paying attention, that he could learn, he knew he could learn, and he did learn. He left the museum at the end of high school. He went to Comcast, installed Comcast cables. Then he went to Alcatel as a technician. Then he went to Advantor Systems to install security systems all over the country and as far away as Afghanistan. A truly remarkable achievement. The sad thing is, he died in May. He died young, not taking care of his heart. And all of us who knew him knew that his lifetime achievement was substantial. We knew it because we read it in the posts that his co-workers at Advantor posted to honor their memories of Ray. And they said, you know, we don't know how he did it, but he always made things work. He was persistent. He was unquestionably always unswervingly optimistic. He was unconventional in his resourcefulness, and he had charm. He could make things work. And if I had to say, that's his lifetime achievement, what would I like my lifetime achievement to be measured by? It's that one person that found the place that he was supposed to be. Thank you very much. And the metaphor that we take from this event this evening is this notion of stars and constellations, and we thank you for all being part of the constellation that we've been part of. Thank you so much.
Don't forget your mask.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Now, to celebrate this incredible lineup of awardees, the Arts Council commissioned Black Haven to produce a documentary film about their lives and their work. Black Haven is a Black arts platform for creatives and administrators in Connecticut dedicated to justice and activation through movement-building events, initiatives, and programming. They poured their heart and soul into this film. So please enjoy the world premiere. Let's hear it for our awardees once more as they leave the stage.
My name is Miguel Benitez.
My name is Lyndroth.
My name is Alan Jackson. They call me DOOLEY-O.
I'm Tia Brockington.
I'm James Brockington.
I am Patrick Smith.
My name is Sally Hill.
I'm Bill Brown.
Inspired by learning a new thing. Either it's culture or a new technique, and in order for me to really learn it, I have to make work about it. So lately I've been studying Aztec glyphs. I usually use graph paper because they're very linear. I don't know, it inspires me to keep going as an artist, is to learn a new subject and then make work about it. And I'm hoping that my kids will do that too. I have
cultivated a group of teachers around me, either from my summers at Audubon or my undergrad or just friends of friends, and we make lesson plans and we talk about like the struggles of teaching, and my family will do the same thing. When I'm having a hard time, I just sort of reach out to my community and see what solutions come up, and I try those. When I graduated from Southern, I was unsure about the career path that I wanted. I didn't want to just fall into teaching just because my family or just because I was good at it. I wanted to like have an actual, ownership of it. So I took a job at the Clay Date. I don't know if you've ever been. It's where you paint your own pottery, and I was just sort of, doodling around, and I often would take a walk through the woods and think about things, right? Just, contemplative moments. While there, I was very unsure of what I wanted to do. One of the parents from Audubon Arts called me to say, hey, do you want a teaching job? Do you want to be a long-term sub at the Engineering and Science University Magnet School, ESUMS. It's a New Haven magnet school. So I was like, sure, I can do that for a few months. It ended up being like 3-4 years. I was like, this is it turned into like a permanent sub job, which is, I know, oxymoronic, but, and this mug sort of like was with me the entire time. I would make my tea, go downstairs, teach a class, repeat. So I took it, finally after those few years, I was like, you know what, I should probably get paid as a full-time teacher. I need to get my master's. So went to Maine, took the mug with me. During the pandemic, I left the mug in school, thinking that I would just return soon when I was doing my student teaching. That didn't end up happening. So it was like a year before this mug was shipped back to me by one of my my mentor's teachers in Maine. And she was like, oh, you were such a great, mentee. Thank you so much. Here's your mug back. Sorry, it took a year. And she gave me like this really great blueberry tea with it. So it was nice. So this mug has been on a journey very similar to me.
My name is Linda Lindroth. I'm an artist and an educator. I've lived in New Haven for about 33 years. I came to New Haven from New Jersey. I was born in Miami. I came to New Haven with my soon-to-be husband, Craig Newick, who is an architect, and I came kicking and screaming along with him. I thought I would be able to find a job here. And ironically, Yale University was a large employer here in New Haven, was on strike. So I was not able to find a job. And as you know, artists need to find multiple career paths because we need to support ourselves in many different ways. I was told when I entered college that if I wanted to be an artist, a woman artist, that I should not get married and certainly not have any children. And that attitude hasn't changed all that much. It is extremely hard for women of color, trans women, any woman, to establish a career from the beginning to what I am now, of a certain age. It is extremely hard to do that for anybody. But if you're a woman and you have a family and you feel like you have responsibilities, I have a son, Zach, and I'm still married to that guy I came to New Haven with. It's very hard to do that. This is my family portrait that I took when I was in graduate school. And it's a family portrait without my family. I have a mother and father. I'm an only child. This is a representation of a family. And I didn't have a normal family. And my parents did not agree with my becoming an artist. So my words of advice is to make your own family. You need to find your own way, and you need to have the courage and confidence to do that. And successes in the arts, however small, little exhibitions, joining a collaborative like a film group and getting to interview interesting people is a good way to build your confidence and feel like you can create a family of friends. We didn't go, this family that we created, we didn't go home for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was so loaded with pressure and questions that we just made our own Thanksgiving. And I like the word family because good friends can be family.
My name is Alan Jackson. They call me DOOLEY-O, and I'm from New Haven, Connecticut. I do a lot of things. I'm a graffiti artist. I DJ, rap here and there. Pretty much all the elements of hip hop is pretty much what I do. The first creative pull was I saw my older brothers having a party at the house, and they had this record. The record's called Frisco Disco, and anybody who knows this record, it's a colorful record. And so I saw them scratching and doing this, whatever they was doing, and I was like, I wanted to do it, so I went over there and tried to scratch the record, and they threw me in the back room. And so then after that, my other experience was going to New York. I have family at 113th and 5th Avenue in New York. And that's where I first saw somebody rap in the park. They had a park jam in the back, and I was like, where's the sound coming from? And then when I went over there, I saw this guy rapping. He was like, check it out, y'all, you don't stop, to the beat, sure shot. And then that's the only part I remember, so I came home trying to be that guy. So I started rapping in front of a bunch of people, check it out, y'all, you don't stop. And that was my second injection. The third injection I had was graffiti. And quick story, I went to school. I used to go to school at Bro Clemente. I went to school and somebody tagged up the school. They wrote all over the building. I didn't like it. So the second day I went back to school again and somebody did something really nice, really had structure, really good style. It said Izzy. It came out the ground, it was beautiful. And I said, well, you know, that's what I like. And then with the hip hop explosion, graffiti was something that was always shown in the background when they had people rapping and breakdancing. So I got hooked. The culture, you know, I finally got my full vaccination. You know, that's how my hip hop career started, from rapping, DJing, and graffiti. Networking is the key for everything. You got to be at the spots. You got to be at the conventions. You got to be at everything. If you love this, you'll do it. See, I got a chance to love it so much that I did a lot of that stuff, but I didn't do it all the way. So I'm giving the advice to be like, do it all the way. Because I only done it, I could say 65% of my life. I've done what, you know, but I was able to complete a lot of projects and do a lot of things with that 65%. But I mean, like, you could have a lot of, if I think back, there was a lot of missed opportunities that I could have took advantage of. Like thinking that, you ever say, nah, I'm not gonna go? You ever sit there and say, nah, I ain't going, man, I'm tired, I ain't going. And then when you get back, oh, what's the name was there? Oh, so-and-so was there? Oh, yeah, man, y'all had a good time. I knew I should have went. Every time you say to yourself, go, go. Even if you just could stay for an hour, just go, because, you know, you have to network with people, because everything about this life is networking. And it ain't about how best you are and how good. I mean, you can see somebody with a painting, they took a spray can and just like, and sold it for $50,000 because they might have been a Yale student. You understand what I'm saying? When I could just do it in 5 seconds and you won't give me $50,000, I might get 50 bucks. You know, that's the difference because it's the networking. It's the networking. So when you gotta be somewhere and you really feel that you should be there, I suggest go. And I started doing that lately. I ain't going, nah, I'm going. And every time I go, something great happens. Every time.
I'm Tia Brockington.
I'm James Brockington. We are products of New Haven, but we co-own the Tia Russell Dance Studio.
In Woodbridge.
We started our studio with the idea of offering a clean, fun environment for students to take it serious, right? We know that even if we're not necessarily at the forefront, we're always being watched by our community, watched by our students, and it's important to lead by example.
Absolutely.
Right, so it's nothing, it's easy for us to just say, oh, this is the Tia Russell Dance Studio and it's awesome and you should be a part of it. But no, we're trying to actually live a life as an example. We're trying to be examples for our community. So it's not just about us, like the kids say, make a quick bag, right? It's not about—
No, it's not a hustle.
It's not about, it's not about a hustle. It's not about a come up. It's literally about living life and as an example. So we want to inspire our community, right? We don't take it, we want to inspire our community. We want them to know, listen, you can do it too. We're from New Haven. I grew up around the corner in a 3rd floor apartment, right? Subsidized housing at that, you know? So which I don't understand why I'm sweating so much because I didn't have it seen. Our core is our black and brown, and we embrace it 150%. Over the past probably 4 or 5 years, the dance industry has changed and started to really embrace the black culture. So now it's about brown. So we enforce that uniform policy at our studio. Every child has to have, for our young ladies, black leotard and flesh tone dance tights. Our flesh tone varies, right? We go from the lightest tans to the chocolate mochas, right? So if you come to our studio, or if you see a picture of our studio, it is just a beautiful sight just to see all the different shades of brown and being embraced from their ballet uniform all the way down to their toes and their ballet shoes. Everything is embraced about their culture because we want them to see themselves as beautiful. Right? So we believe in positive body image. We have a very famous quote by Missy Copeland just posted inside of our studio. And it lets them know that you can start late, you can look different, and you can still be great.
And like he said, yes, it can be intimidating at times because James and I in the dance community are kind of like stepping into territories that haven't been stepped into. And it's easy to judge. It's easy to, you know, to point the finger and say what you would do, you know. So we have to really, number one, go on faith. For me, like I said, I've always struggled here and there with, you know, with doubt. But this is, he backs me up 150%, you know. So we together, we know that we can conquer anything. You know, anything we put our minds to, and that's important for us to set that example. Because just think about it, we're in the middle of a pandemic. You know, we stayed open. It was important for us during that time.
When we were able to open.
When we weren't open, we were still reaching out to our students because it was important for us to keep their spirits up. You know, although we have our own battles, our own stuff that we're focused on, we knew that this was a saving grace for a lot of our students. So we reached out to them. You know, we weren't getting paid. Our school is tuition-based, so when you're not coming, we're not getting paid.
There's no outside funding.
Right, so for literally 5 months, we were closed with no funding. When we opened back up, we still started with no funding because it was about, listen, it's not about the money. You know, we knew we were gonna be all right. It was about giving them a safe space, you know, giving them a place, because over this pandemic, we realized that a lot of the students they discovered that they were socially, that they were just going through a lot.
emotionally just tapping into stuff that they didn't even know was there. You know, we were learning, we had social groups and they were learning about depression, and we had students crying because they just realized, oh, that's what that is, you know, isolated and not talking to anyone. So it's important. We have a platform to speak to the youth, and not just the youth, because I've had adults pull me to the side about their personal issues. We're effective, you know, to many people, but we take that responsibility seriously, and just any way we can be of help, you know, we're allowed to help and inspire and encourage through the arts, and that's just what we plan on to continue to do, you know, so.
I am Patrick Smith, and I live in Guilford, Connecticut, and I teach in New Haven, but I'm originally from Seattle. I started my career as a performer, touring and playing with all kinds of people, and I did that for quite some time, and I did two things I was never going to do. I was never going to get married, so I did, and I was never going to have kids, so I have two. And I've been married now 27 years, and when we started having kids, I decided I needed a real job. And so I applied to actually North Haven Middle School, and I was there for 3 years, and then I was recruited to come to Co-op High School here in New Haven in 1998. So I am in my 24th year, I believe, at Co-op High School. And I love it. And I teach instrumental music, band, jazz, classical stuff, music theory, AP music theory, and I mentor a bunch of kids, and we have adventures every single day. Well, I began playing music in 1959, that was a 5, and my mother was a concert pianist, and I sort of learned a lot of music by ear listening to her play, and I played my first solo recital doing Flight of the Bumblebee when I was 7, and I formed my first band when I was 13, and actually no, when I was 9, and I began playing professionally when I was 13. And I just sort of progressed through school and up through college. They wouldn't let me into the school music program in elementary school because they said I'd be a problem. I think it was because I was more advanced than somebody they wanted to deal with, but they're probably right. I probably would have been a problem. I'm kind of a problem now. During this entire time, going back to age 7, I'd been studying karate. And so I was doing a parallel path of martial arts and music. And when I was studying here at Yale, I was going to New York City to study at the University of the Streets with a sensei named Rory Calhoun, who was nicknamed the Cyclone Sensei because he had these amazing spinning kicks that he could do. And I've continued the martial arts. And when I was on tour, I played with everybody from Aretha Franklin to Sammy Davis Jr., Regis and Kathy Lee. My first real, honest-to-goodness professional rock and roll gig was in 1976 when the Rolling Stones opened their tour in Seattle. I played with them, playing hand percussion on Sympathy for the Devil and some other songs, which was cool. And so I was thankfully recruited to go to Co-op by Keith Cunningham, who was the arts director back then. And I promised him if he gave me the job, I'd put Co-op on the map. And so now, after all these years, we've gone from 5 people in the band and 25 people in the choir to over 100 people in the band program, over 100 people in the choir program, a full symphony orchestra, 2 jazz bands, and 4 levels of music theory. And we have 3 CDs out and a number of movies out, and we are recognized by the Grammys as a signature school nationwide. And it's been fun, a lot of fun.
My name is Sally Hill. I'm from, at the moment, Guilford, Connecticut. We are, both Bill and I are retired. What we did, I'm a graphic designer and a designer of other things, but you know, what we did was we were in the Eli Whitney Museum for 33 years.
Okay,
You're on.
I'm Bill Brown, and we're married, so I'm also from Guilford. I came here from the Midwest. I'm an educator and I worked at Creative Arts Workshop next door and at the Eli Whitney Museum as a designer and educator.
I was 40 when I first went to graduate school for graphic design, so I had kids, oldest person in my class, sort of weird. And then prior to that, I mean, my mother always did the New York Times crossword puzzle, and she would leave it around, and I would just go and fill in all the squares. So if you're looking for an inspiration for why I ended up being a graphic design, it's the grid that's underneath everything. Look at that thing, see the grid? And it all comes from that. So. And then I ended up teaching after that. I taught at Southern graphic design, but mostly I taught weaving. Oh, how about that? I taught weaving at Creative Arts Workshop. And then I ended up at the museum. And that sort of took everything on.
I have a simpler account. I was running the children's program next door, and I was going to have a robot show, and I was sitting at a typewriter and typing away my prospectus for the show, and she came up behind me and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to have this robot show." And she said, "Let me tell you how we're going to do that." And that's been our relationship ever since. I get ideas and she makes them work. I think I got into what's been the core of my life's work when I realized that there's a difference between what kids can produce with their hands and what kids turn out in the classroom. And this is at the center of it. It turns out that when you're making a rubber band powered car, paradoxically, in any group, the 3 kids whose cars go the farthest will be the worst spellers in the group. And there's a whole long explanation for why that happens, but it presents an immediate question, which is, why don't we have a broader range of things that we look at in school? Because it turns out that some of the very important things that some kids can do exceptionally well are just never part of what we do in school. And what my work has been about is sort of stretching the vision of education to include more pursuits that take a look at the world, not always with words. I'm dyslexic. It turns out that a lot of dyslexics are pretty good mechanics. So that's been what drove my work over the years.
That was a much easier explanation. It's been a long time we've been together.
To welcome to the stage. Hey, Daniel Fitzmaurice and Babs Walls-Ivy.
Hey, y'all.
Let's hear it for Dan and Babs, please.
Oh, well, just you. Well, I'll just say let's hear from Marcella for hosting all night and Babs hosting all early in the pre-show.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
This was fun. Can I just say this was a good time? We gathered, we needed to gather. It's been 18 months since we've seen each other. Theaters are open. Go to the Long Wharf Theater. Go to the Schubert. Go see Kim Weston at the Mitchell Library in the next week. Go to our music venues. You know, I believe artists are the true revolutionaries. I've always believed that. And they need our support. And they have gotten us through this very difficult time. And so let's go back and celebrate. Thank y'all for coming and making this award amazing.
Yeah, I can say the thank you to the folks who made it happen. So yes, I'm Daniel from the Arts Council, but just shout out to Black Haven, Lotta Studios, Daniel Pizarro, Kyle Kirsten, who made those sculptures, Movimento Cultural, Dana, Jamie. There's so many artists involved in putting an event like this together. And again, shout out to Southern and Lyman Center for hosting us.
Yeah, and our fellow board members.
As Marcella said and Bab said, but I'll take a chance to say, this is all a benefit for our Creative Sector Relief Fund to put money back in the hands of Black, Brown, and Indigenous artists who need it in this community. So shout out to our sponsors who are making all your ticket purchases possible for that, which is ECA, Yale Schwarzman Center, Met Interactive, and the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven. And all of you, if you scan the QR code or hit us on Venmo or Zelle or WhatsApp or all of those things. And I can't not say this, and I don't even think she's here, but if you hit us up on any of those platforms, it's Winter Marshall who actually receives all those payments and makes this event happen. So thank you, Winter.
Well, I just want to thank you guys for being such an incredible audience. Thank you for making this easy for me. I'm one of those people, I like to sing. I don't like to get in front of people to speak. And so I really bug Daniel a lot. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know. But I thank you so much for making this virtually painless. Now, the party's not over though. So please head outside for more DJ Dana. Get your photo taken with Lee Busby. Enjoy treats from Freiburg, Moon Rocks, New England Brewing and Amity Wine and Spirits, and the fantastic lighting by Jamie Burnett. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Don't forget to give, and give some more. God bless you and have a great evening.